Hello, good morning everyone. Today we are going to revise figure of speeches one more time. I have chosen this topic because this topic is little bit important because always at least one question it is asked in board examination on figures of speeches. Okay, so there can be question of 2 marks or 1 mark. If the question is 2 marks, that time 2 questions will be added in one question, that you have to identify figure of speech as well as you have to explain figure of speech. Means one sentence will be given to you and the question will be identify figure of speech from the given statement and explain. Okay, so that time 1 mark is for identification and 1 mark is for explanation. If only identification question is there, so that time you have to write the name of given figure of speech. Okay, so when you will write names of figures of speeches, so that time spelling should be correct, so that you have to pay attention, because if you are going to write wrong spelling, so there you will be losing your marks. Means example, if the given statement is simile, so that time you have to write correct spelling for simile. So simile spelling is simile. If you will write simili, so there you will lose your mark and you won't get your mark for identification. Okay, so first thing you have to do, that you have to learn all the spellings of figures of speeches. So today we are going to revise some figures of speeches like simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, irony, onomatopoeia, alliteration, repetition, climax is there, anticlimax is there, then apostrophe is there, alliteration, repetition, all these figures of speeches are there. Okay, so most of the time these figures of speeches are asked. Always I tell you that when the question it is based on figure of speeches, so that time first you try to find out simplest figure of speech from the given sentence. Means alliteration and repetition, that is the simplest form of figure of speeches. So try to find out that given statement is alliteration or repetition. If you don't get this figure of speeches from the given statement, then you go for next one, then you think for the next one, that is this sentence is climax, anticlimax, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, then litotus, antithesis, oxymoron, irony, or any other. Okay, and if you will find that the given statement is an alliteration or repetition, so that will be easy for you to write its explanation as well as to write its name. Okay, so first that we should know what is this figures of speeches. So figure of speech is a figurative language in the form of a single word or a phrase. So why figure of speeches are used in literature? So when a person want to attract his reader, so that time he uses this figurative language in his work. If you will write simple statement, so that time people will feel boring to read that, right? So there should be some attractive words, phrases, figurative language should be there, and that's why that is the aim, that the person try to use different word, something different from the literal meaning, to attract his readers. So it can be a spatial repetition, arrangement or omission of words with the literal meaning, or a phrases with the specialized meaning not based on the literal meaning. And specially figure of speeches means whatever the sentence it is given, so literal meaning we don't get from the figure of speech, means something different meaning it is there which is hidden one, and that we have to find out in this figure of speeches. Okay, so figure of speech is essentially a word or phrase used in a non-literal sense for rhetorical or vivid effect. As I told you that when reader want to attract, when writer want to attract his reader, so that time he uses different forms of figure of speeches, and that's why he used different phrases, different words to attract his readers. Okay, they are plainly defined as saying one thing in terms of something else. What does mean? Well, it's simple actually. So when you will read these figures of speeches, so you are going to get some hidden meaning in that figure of speech, in that particular sentence. Okay, so literal meaning you are not going to get, something hidden meaning it is there which is not given directly. Okay, so for simple one we are going to start with the simplest one, that is simile. Everyone knows about this figure of speech, but we'll revise. What is simile? Simile, when direct comparison it is there between two objects or two things, and that direct comparison it is given with the words of as, so, like, as. So there we get comparison between two things, two objects of a different kinds. Example, he's as sweet as sugar. So here the person means he get compared with sugar. He is as sweet as sugar. So he is sweet like a sugar. So here two different things means sugar and the person get compared by using words as, and that's why that is simile. Simile and metaphor, that is little bit similar figures of speeches, because in simile direct comparison is made and in metaphor indirect comparison is made. In metaphor also we get comparison, but there these words are not used. These words means which words? As, so, like, as. These words are not given, but comparison is done between two different objects, right? So my dog is as smelly as dirty socks. So one more time here, the direct comparison between the dog and the socks by using words like as. Okay, so that's why that is simile. Okay, now how you are going to identify that given statement is simile or metaphor? So you have to check that these words are used in the given statement or not. If the words are given like as, like, so that time that is simile. If these words are not given but the comparison is done between two different objects, so that is metaphor. Okay, now immediately we are going to see metaphor, so you will get difference between simile and the metaphor. So metaphor is an implied simile, means it is similar to simile, but it does not use words like, as, such as. Okay, but here again one more time the comparison it is made between two things. The camel is a sheep of the desert. Here the camel get compared with the sheep. Comparison is done between the camel and the sheep. So camel is used as a sheep of the desert, but here the as word is not used. If we are going to use here as word, so it is, this sentence is going to be converted into simile, means the camel is like a sheep of the desert. So now this sentence is converted into simile because I have used word like. Okay, so here are some sentences like every simile can be compressed into metaphor, means every simile, every sentence of simile we can convert into metaphor. Metaphor can expanded into a simile. Thus, instead of saying Akash fought like a lion, now see here Akash fought like a lion. So Akash get compared with lion by using word like, and that's why that is simile. We can say Akash was a lion in the fight. Now this is metaphor. Again the comparison is made between the Akash and the lion. Only the difference is that like word is not used in the second sentence. Okay. Now next is personification. Personification, the figure speech name is meaning of the figure of speech, it is hidden in this name only. Personification. Personification means person's adjective is given to non-animate thing. Person quality, it is given to the inanimate object, that is personification. Means when we give human quality to non-living thing, that is personification. In personification, inanimate objects and abstract notions are spoken as having life and intelligence. Okay, so when inanimate objects get life or the qualities of human beings, intelligence like human beings, so that is personification. Personification occurs when the author or the speaker gives human characteristics to non-human object. Okay, the trees screams in the raging wind. Now here the trees screams in the raging wind. Can trees actually scream? Can they scream? No, actually the trees are human beings, but they cannot scream. No, that is a human trait. So use of personification here gives a better description of the sound trees make in strong wings. So here when the trees they make sound in winds, that sound it is called as they are screaming. Only the person can scream, animal can scream, but trees cannot scream because they cannot speak. Okay, but here the human quality it is given to the trees, and that's why that is personification. Flowers are smiling, flowers are dancing, river is laughing. River cannot laughing, that is human quality, but it is given to river, it is given to inanimate object, and that's why that is personification. Now so many times the student they get confused between what personification and transfer epithet. So let me clear that. We'll see transfer epithet with personification. Okay, so again this like simile and metaphor, they are little bit similar. So here also personification and transfer epithet, both these figures of speeches they are little bit similar. How? Transfer epithet. Transfer means when we transfer the quality of particular thing from one thing to another thing. Transfer epithet. Epithet means an adjective. When we transfer adjective or the quality of a person from one thing to another thing, that is transfer epithet, right? Here what we are doing, here we are just transferring quality from one thing to another thing, and in personification we are given directly quality to the non-living thing. This is the difference. Means here we are going to get living thing as well as non-living thing, and we are going to transfer that qualities from living to non-living thing. In personification we are going to give direct quality to non-living thing. Okay, in this figure an epithet means an adjective quality, a word, a phrase which describes a person, okay, is transformed from its proper word to another that is closely associated, means closely related to the sentence. Like dreamless sleep. A person has dreamless sleep. Sleep cannot be dreamless because that is the inanimate object, right? And dreamless, that is the quality of person. But here the person quality it get transferred into non-living thing, and that is sleep. So sleep cannot be dreamless, but the person is dreamless, and that quality it get transferred into the inanimate object. Drunken, dark, unbreakfasted morning. Unbreakfasted morning. How the morning can be unbreakfasted? Actually the person is unbreakfasted, but here the quality get transferred from person to morning. Merry hours, merry time. Time cannot be merry, okay? The person can be merry, the person can be sad, the person can be glad, and according to the person the time He changes the definition of time. Actually the time is doesn't have any quality. Okay, but if we are happy, so we feel that our time is glad timing, merry timing. If we feel sad, so that time we feel that this is my sad period of my life and it should go fast. So it's up to the person. Okay, so merry hours cannot be merry. Actually the person is merry, and that's why he feels that his hours are merry, his time is merry. So that is the difference between personification and transfer epithet. Let me tell you one more time. In personification, we gives human quality to inanimate object. Directly we give that quality to non-living thing. In transfer epithet, we transferred human quality to non-living thing. Okay, so that is the difference between personification and transfer epithet. Again, now we'll go back. Okay, next is apostrophe. Apostrophe. Apostrophe is a figure of speech when we address to something which is dead, which is not available front of us, the thing which is absent, or the personified idea. Okay, means when we address, when we talk, when we call something which is not there front of us, that is apostrophe. Okay, like oh God, oh stars, oh heaven. So God is not there front of us, but we imagine that we are talking with God, and that's why we say like this. So like oh stars and clouds and winds. So here the person, means here the poet is talking with the stars, clouds. Now they are not front of him, but he's assuming that these stars, they are talking with me, right? Or suppose if we talk with a dead person, oh father of nation. So here, oh father of nation, so he is dead, but here we assume that we are talking with that person, and that is apostrophe. And mostly the words are used like oh, so that time easily you can find out that the given statement is apostrophe. Oh lovely orange, you golden treat, oh tell me why aren't you easy to eat. Now the orange is not there front of us, and that orange is not going to talk with the person, right? These are the inanimate objects, they are not going to talk with us, but then also we feel that, we assume that they are going to talk, so that is apostrophe. Hyperbole. Again, this is very simple to identify and understand. Hyperbole. Hyper means exaggeration, overstatement. Hyperbole, a statement is made empathetic by overstatement, exaggeration where we get. Okay, in Marathi we say atishyokti, the thing which is not possible only. Okay, so that is hyperbole. I have told you a million times. Million times. Here actually the person wants to say that I have told you this thing so many times. Then also you don't understand. So many times. So many times means how many times? 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times. Not more than that, na? But here million times. Is it possible to tell something in something million times? No, but actually the person, he wants to say that I have told you this thing so many times, then also you don't understand it. Okay, so here exaggeration we get. I will literally die if you don't stop using hyperboles incorrectly. Okay, so here I will literally die. Really, the person is going to die if he is not going to use hyperbole in a proper way. No, this is not possible. Okay, so this is again the exaggeration, overstatement. The person cannot be die if he is not going to speak right figures of speeches. Okay, so this is impossible things, in short we can say. Okay, next is antithesis. Antithesis, again anti means two opposite things. two opposite things we get in a one sentence. In antithesis, a striking opposition or the contrast of words or sentiments is made in the same sentence. It is employed to secure emphasis. So here again we get two contrary ideas, two opposite ideas in one sentence. Okay, so speech is silver but silence is golden. Silver, golden, as well as speech and silence. Speech and silence, that is two opposite ideas we get in one particular sentence. Love and hate, good and evil, peace and war. So where we get two opposite idea in one sentence, so that is antithesis. Oxymoron. Oxymoron, again it is the type of antithesis where two contradictory qualities are predicted at once of the same thing. Okay, now here you will not get directly two contrary ideas, but indirectly you will get two opposite ideas in one sentence. Now if you will see here in antithesis, by giving comma, by using and, two different things you get in particular sentence. Now in first sentence, if you will see, speech is silver but silence is golden. So here the comma it is used where we get two contrary ideas in the particular sentence, speech and silence. Again if you will see the next examples like love and hate, good and evil, so again here two contrary words we get in a sentence, but here you have to find out because that is the complete one sentence. Comma is not given and is not given, but two opposite ideas are given. I am busy doing nothing. I am busy but I am not doing anything. Okay, so busy, doing nothing, two contrary ideas, but it is not separated by using words like and, comma or any other word. Okay, so that is the difference between antithesis and oxymoron. Known secret. Secret is there but we know that. So that is two opposite idea. Confirm rumor. Rumor, how the rumor can be confirmed. Okay. Then differing silence. If the thing is different, then how it can be silenced. Okay, so here two contrary idea but not get separated. Okay, last one we'll see, that is irony. Irony is a mode of speech in which the real meaning is exactly the opposite of that which is literally conveyed. Means the given statement literal meaning is different and the hidden meaning is totally different in irony. Irony means opposite. Okay, so here we get opposite meaning in a particular statement. So here one of the dialogue, one of the sentence it is given from the Shakespeare, that for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable man. Means actually he was not an honorable person, but in the given sentence it is given, so we feel that the person is really honorable, but actually literal meaning is different. See, the quote spoken by Mark Antony. This is the dialogue which is spoken by Mark Antony, one of the character from the drama, is reporting that Brutus is the person name, is an honorable man. However, Mark Antony does not agree and is saying that if the Brutus is an honorable man, then everyone is honorable. In effect, he is no different than anyone else. Means what? He is worse person. He is not good person. He is deceived person. Right? So here actually Mark Antony, he wants to say that Brutus is not an honorable person at all, but in his dialogue he said like that, but his literal meaning is different. This irony we use while we talk with the person, especially when we taunt to the person, right, when we want to convey our message but not directly, indirectly. So that time this irony usually we use. That suppose if the person is looking very ugly, but we cannot say that directly to that person. If he is looking something awkward, different, so that time we are not going to say directly to that person because it is going to hurt, right? So that time what we'll say, Yes, you are looking very beautiful. So actually we want to say that actually the person is not looking beautiful, but that person also come to know that yes, something awkward it is there in my appearance. Okay, but direct we cannot say to that person because it can be hurt, and that's why irony we use, because we want to say something different. Literal meaning is different, hidden meaning is different, so that is the irony. Okay, so today we are going to stop here. In the next lecture we are going to continue with more figures of speeches. Okay, so your homework is that you have to identify the figures of speeches which we have learned today from your textbook, from your poems. So 6 poems are there for your examination. So from those 6 poems you have to find out simile, metaphor, antithesis, irony, oxymoron, then personification, transfer, epithet, alliteration, repetition, you know that, so that also you try to find out and write the explanation for that. In explanation you are not going to write definition of the figures of speeches. Okay, why that particular figure of speech is that you have to write. Means suppose if the given statement is oxymoron, so you don't have to write the definition of oxymoron, you have to write that why that statement is oxymoron, then only you will get the marks for that, right? Okay, so this is your homework. Do your homework. In the next lecture we are going to continue with some more figures of speeches. Thank you and have a nice day.